So what is driving the innovation at GE?
Well, it's a couple of things. I mean, you don't get to be 140 years old without understanding how to change. You can't live that long if you don't change when things, maybe not always when they need to change, but you understand how to change. Hopefully what I've been a part of is the market-back innovation. It's not always about the breakthrough, it's where are things going, where is change happening. The fact is you can have great technology, but it doesn't have to cost a lot. So looking at consumer health and healthcare in general, and that you can do things at scale in China and India that maybe have the best technology, but they don't cost a lot. So how do you think about value healthcare? That's I don't know if it's a defect, it's an opportunity, but if you look at the world as only we produce the most beautiful high-end technology at the highest price point, you miss a huge opportunity to deliver health. So what do I mean by digital industrial internet? It's the ability to embed sensors and controls in hardware. Internet of Things. I'm sure there's been a lot of conversation here. Everything we do is going to be embedded with the ability to sense, analyze, and run things better. And so there's new revenue streams. We have to learn how to commercialize it. So for anyone who's in those kind of businesses where you're going from selling a thing to a service, we're right in the middle of that. So we're betting the whole company on it. Not just on the lights. I mean, the lights are just a little piece of it, but on that sensing, controlling, the ability to marry the hardware and the software. And what we're good for are the enterprise applications. So a lot of consumer companies maybe think, hey, I know how to launch this in the consumer space. Well, how do I take a drone and apply it to a rail line? How do I take it and apply it to power transmission lines? What are the applications? And so for us, it's as much about those commercial applications as it is an investment. We'll try to do both. I think in the old days, it used to be partnership meant do it my way. Like, yeah, we're partners, but you have to do it our way. It was always like, well, okay, you're partners, but who has controlling interest? And we've had to get our head around this idea of, do you want to be 100% of nothing? Because sometimes if we did it all ourselves, it didn't get done. Or do you want to be 20 or 30% of something good? This is what big companies do really badly. We think we're going to, and I actually think some VCs do this too. We think we're going to solve a problem just by throwing money at it. And we call it premature scaling. If I just put enough money on it, it's going to be great. You haven't tested that you have a customer. You haven't tested you can go from one customer to two. You haven't tested the leadership team. And we could spend hours. I could walk you through the gory details of all the premature scaling efforts we thought could be solved with funding. And yet then no one ever has any money to do something. So it's that kind of process, faster, this sort of minimally viable product idea that you get from lean startup, that's okay in a company like ours. It doesn't have to be perfect. And sometimes the best ideas come out of the more constraints. I learned this on the advertising side. The best creative brief, the tightest, creative brief gets the best creative advertising. And it's no different in innovation. It's no different in a startup. What's your brief? What problem are you trying to solve? What constraints do we have? And unfortunately, in bigger companies, we try to do too many things. We're maybe not as tight with our brief. And I think that helps you iterate a lot faster. I'm a big believer that innovation is really about diversity and tension. And you need diversity of thought and experience in any company to be innovative.